Hey everybody, and welcome to News and Updates. I am JW, your co-host for this week.
And I'm Donna McT. Yes, I'm unmuted. Again, thrilled to be here and to be co-hosting with you, JW. This is quite a thrill and an honor for me. Laurel and Mark are off this weekend, and we are going to do our best to catch you up with all the news happening in our fabulous community called AltspaceVR.
And I'm on double duty today, working slides and co-hosting, so bear with us today.
It's triple duty because you're filming too.
And filming, yes. Triple duty as well. Yeah. Right, so this is the time that I changed the slides, so here we go. All right, hopefully this all works. All right, so here we go, folks. Altspace was updated this week with some significant improvements both in the user interface and overall features as well. So the World Building SDK and the MRE, which is known as the Microsoft Reality Extension, or Mixed Reality Extension, they include the browser scrolling on the Quest and a fix to the user interface to stop the menu from disappearing behind the in-world objects, something that's annoyed very many of you out there. Confirmation dialog was also added to the teleporters that improved error handling and on the startup and interspace travel. And the ability to see heads-up displays or HUDs in the main menu through geometry, along with other bug fixes and improvements. Altspace has often released patches as needed throughout the week, and hopefully will be returning to their weekly Tuesday large updates as they continue to push Altspace forward for us.
Holy cow, this is a Saturday of Saturdays. Well, JW, you just started talking, I spilled coffee all over my Microsoft keyboard.
Oh, no!
Oh, I tell you, what a day. Okay.
It's live, folks, it's live.
Yeah, you can never control what happens live, that's right. Okay, I've been hearing the buzz. Have you been hearing the buzz? World builders have been busy getting their creative juices flowing, and they are almost ready to spook you. It's time to talk Halloween, ghosts and goblins, trick-or-treaters, and the occasional troll. For the past few months, builders have been working hard creating some crazy spooky worlds. Special events for Halloween are coming up quick. Get your masks and zombie makeout. AltspaceVR is getting haunted. Oh, this is going to be so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I love it.
Kalen is now looking for volunteers. So here's your chance. You know what, you guys? Here's your chance to scare people. The times and dates are listed in the AltspaceVR volunteer Discord and in the official AltspaceVR Discord. So message Kalen with dates and times that work for you to volunteer. And please include the device that you're going to be using, okay? That's helpful for them. And there's more for you peeps that are into costumes. Who is up for changing their avatar? Oh, this is going to be so good, you guys. Get ready for some scary avatars. You know that it's so much fun to participate with these special events, and we appreciate when you do volunteer. That's how our community works, because of all of you. You guys make this community work. And bonus, you have permission to scare people. It doesn't get more fun than that in Altspace.
I know. Ooh, that's going to be really scary. We had so much fun last year. Oh yeah, we had so much fun last year using our voice changers and all that kind of stuff and popping out at the freaking people out. It was a lot of fun. And this year it's going to be a scary woods, so that's going to be really, 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 really cool. So along with the Halloween thrills, we also have some interesting things that are happening with the events coming up. We have a Day of the Dead coming up on October 31st through November 2nd. And Alan is working on a special celebration. And Kaylin is inviting any member of Altspace to submit photographs of their deceased loved ones to be added to the special event. And this is a space to celebrate the lives of those who have passed. So you want to contact Kaylin, Alan, or check out the messages in the AltspaceVR volunteer group to be included, and that's on the Discord.
Oh, JW, did they do that last year, or is that new this year?
They did last year, yeah. It was Eugene Kalin, and we had the AltSpace Oracle, Annabelle E., helped out with that. That was pretty awesome.
Wow, that's great. Oh, you
Yeah.
guys, an exciting month here in AltSpace, but I have to tell you which month isn't. Before we dive into world building news, I wanted to highlight something that happened yesterday. So Daisy Shaw, who you guys probably already know, one of our incredible world builders here at AltspaceVR, she hosted her very own event. She called it a whistle stop tour, and it was a tour of all of her worlds. What a fabulous idea. I heard from her after the tour that some people stayed around for up to an hour talking and enjoying the space. So how cool is that? Oh, let's give claps emojis for Daisy Shaw. That was awesome. So while we have the world tour events that happen every Wednesday, why not feature your own whistle stop tour? Take people on a tour of your worlds. It's a great opportunity for you not only to share your creations, your passion projects, but also it's a great time to give tips and tricks about what you learned about world building. That is one of the amazing things about this community, right? We learn from each other. And so when you guys as world builders share things that you've learned with other people that are interested in world building, it makes this whole place a better community. So for those of you who are like me and you don't actually build worlds, what if you hosted a whistle stop tour of 4 or 6 worlds that you really enjoy? You could create an event, or you could just head over to the campfire, ask the admin to announce that you're hosting a whistle stop tour, create a portal to the first world. Just do it. I guarantee you a few things. You're going to have a great time. You will meet new people. And we just love it when you guys share your enthusiasm for our community with people that are new to AltspaceVR.
Sure do. And Daisy built a lot of those worlds using her Go. Now she's on the Quest, but before she used the Go, and I was really, really impressed with her work. I mean, really amazing work on a Go. So props to Daisy. Love that. So the world building development team in AltSpace are back, and they've released several great updates. Let's see what they've got. They've got an update recently including the mobile optimized Vertex Lit shader for world building. The kit building. It also improves lighting and shading on your kit objects for those adding them to your kit selections. These are in the addition to the recent performance metrics, the text input, and other small updates lately to the SDK and the MRE for world building, including a big update last week. The MRE version 0.13.2 was included in Tuesday's update, so the features we mentioned are now available. So great work on that team. AltspaceVR dev team is also working on improving the AltspaceVR Unity uploader and making significant progress in making it not just easier to use, but also adding additional features. So stay tuned more for this news about the MRE and the Altspace Unity uploader.
So I'm going to do something rare here. So I'm actually going to send some hearts up. Daisy Shaw, these are for you, and for the things that are happening in World Builder. And why this is incredible is there's actually notes in the script that say, Donna, do not touch emojis. Because every time I do, I leapfrog off this, like my cursor moves, and I leapfrog off the stage, and I'd really like to stay on the stage today. So, however, something just deserved the risk. So Anthony M. is releasing a new world building toolkit for Unity plugin with optimizations, dedicated shaders for all objects, including MRE, a welcome menu to help new users get started, and some other goodies. You guys, how awesome is that? He now has time to return back to his passion project, and world builders in AltspaceVR get the benefit of his creative programming. You guys, this is amazing news. So thank you, Anthony, for supporting our great world building community.
Yeah, Anthony's the best. He really is doing this as a labor of love, and it's pretty amazing to see him coming in after a hard day's of work, putting more work into this. So we really do appreciate everything that he's doing for us. And a week ago, the News and Updates Discord began sharing tips, tricks, techniques, and videos on world building with Unity and other tools for AltspaceVR. So you want to check those out on our AltspaceVR News Discord channel. The link is on the sign in the entrance, so join us and learn how to build in the virtual world with us.
So we really do love all of the amazing creativity of our world builders. So if you're interested in developing new skills or getting started, please attend the world building events that happen in AltSpace. So there's a couple that happen on Tuesdays. There's the STK meetup. There's a few opportunities for you. So check the schedule, and you can learn about basics. And one of the great things is you meet other world builders. And like I said, and I keep saying it, we learn from each other. That's one of the great things about our community, is that we learn from each other. So make sure to check out those events. Remember, there's never a prerequisite to attend an event, and you can attend them as often as you want. And I don't know about you, Jay, but I no matter how many times I go to an event, I always either hear something I never heard before, you know what I mean? Like we learn kind of in plateaus, right? So we learn things, and then all of a sudden you hear something and go, light bulb. The other thing is, I think I learned so much when people ask questions. So even at one-on-ones, I'm always amazed at how somebody can just ask a question from a different perspective, right? So for world building, you learn things from the questions that people ask at these events. So it really is worth the time to check those events out during the week.
Oh, for sure. And we're going to have a Q&A after the news and updates, so stick around for that as well. So for more information on world building, you want to visit help.altvr.com and also developer.altvr.com. And don't forget that every Wednesday is the World Builders Tour. It's a showcase of great worlds created by our world builders. And the next week is going to be a special event with Sky's the Limit. So you want to check that out. And we're going to tour her unfinished worlds, and this is a great opportunity to see worlds in the process of being constructed, and maybe even have your say in how she's going to proceed in building her next world. So on October 23rd, we will have a very spooky and special world tour for you, where the world tour leaders will take you behind the scenes of the 2018 Halloween maze. Now, this is a chance to see how this record-breaking world tour maze was done, and learn from some of the most innovative world builders here in AltspaceVR. So you want to make your RSVP and get there early, as many of our tours do fill up really quickly. And if you have several world tours that we want to take you on, and if you'd like to see them featured and you're willing to help lead the tour and share your expertise, you want to talk to us after the show.
So world building is such a creative part of AltSpace. And for those of you that, again, for those of you that are like me, that don't actually build worlds, remember, it takes a lot of different kinds of people to make the community. So the world builders pour their passions and creativity into building worlds, but they wouldn't be exciting worlds unless there were people like you and me that actually went to those worlds and enjoyed them and shared them with our friends and people here in AltSpace. So let's celebrate all the creativity of world building and enjoy it, as there's all these Halloween events. So now, let's change topics and move over to events. Events drive so much of the energy here in our community. So let's just take a moment to check out what's on the schedule just this coming week. Our regular weekly events rocking AltspaceVR include Center Stage, Scream Queen. That's been running for so long. This the improv night, Yunji's live musical performances. She's not doing a performance this week, but she'll be back next week. VR Church has 3 different events happening on Sunday in AltSpace. There's meditation all through the week, so many different events to choose from. And then there's the Get Social events, there's Alt Idol. Laurel has the amazing creative writing and so on. You'll never be bored here in AltSpace. Now, speaking of, and I'm going to say this, because I meant to check in with Sky and I did not do that, but last Saturday, just before News and Updates started, Sky announced that she was looking for a new co-host for the Alt Idol. And I honestly don't know whether she found one or not, but I'm going to give you the heads up that they were looking, and please check that out if you want to connect and if you're interested in helping out.
Yeah, I hope she did. I hope she found someone. If not, then definitely do so. Find out on the Discord. But I think the best place is probably in the AltspaceVR Discord in the events section. I believe she's there for that. So Laurel's creative writing meetup celebrates 1 year in AltspaceVR. Congrats, Laurel.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. It's November 1st is going to be her celebration. So let's see. It's the NaNoWriMo. It's the NaNoWriMo. So it's the National Novel Writing Month. And the goal during the 30-day event is to write at least 50,000 words in 30 days. That's 1,667 words a day. She and her creative writing team will be meeting every day in AltSpace to help you meet your goal, giving you the support and encouragement, and inspire you to do your writing time. And anything else you need to win this NaNoWriMo event.
It does not roll off the tongue.
Right. So Educators in VR is also celebrating their National Cyberbullying Month in AltSpace with a special guest panel, open discussion, and several guest speakers. So you want to check out the events calendar and RSVP to remind you of that event. And just recently we found out that Keegan, our AltspaceVR program owner, will be speaking at that event. So we're looking forward to you guys attending. So that is the cyberbullying event. It's a special event with Educators in VR. So if you've ever been cyberbullied or if you've been harassed in AltSpace, you want to hear your stories, this is going to be an open event where you can share your stories. We're going to share both the positive and the negative, and also just empower you for the future.
Well, it's really important. And as social VR spaces, as more space places like AltSpace come into the VR realm, this is something that everybody's facing, and it's new, and so we need everybody's help to not only share stories, but to contribute to solutions, etc. I will say, I said this last week, but seriously, every time Laurel talks about her creative writing contest, it's seriously, you guys, it takes me 1,000 words to say anything what somebody else could say in 100. So I'm seriously considering actually entering this contest.
Oh,
I
that
think
would be
it may
great,
be an
Donna.
exciting thing. Okay, one of my faves here in AltSpace is Chuck Webster. Have you guys gone to any of Chuck's events? He is the star of Health Systems Chat, and he is breaking the rules again on his health tech meetups. He is bringing quadruple aim to AltSpace VR. Now, the Quadruple AIM project is just one of the many projects at the Medical Group Management Association, their annual conference that's happening in New Orleans. So I will tell you, this is something that Chuck does, and he talks about it as in his events, that when he wants to host an event, he looks around the world, he looks for a conference that may be related, and then he ties into the conference. Really, really clever about sharing information and a message. Now, this week, Chuck is focusing on the Quadruple AIM project. It is a project that is focused on improving patient experience, clinical outcomes, and care team well-being while reducing costs. Now, his events are always interesting. He always presents information in a way or from a perspective that you might not have thought of before, and he always shares fun facts. And I will say this, even if you're not maybe interested in this subject matter, maybe it's not an area that you're working in or anything, I have to tell you his events are exciting to interesting to everybody. Just the way he presents it, the stories he shares. So even if you're not working in the medical field, I guarantee you will find his events interesting. So take the time to check them out sometime.
Yeah, I know that he's going to be doing an event for the VR AR Association here in AltSpace, so that's coming up in November. So
I can't wait! I'm gonna be in Vancouver for that. I'm so excited.
I know you will. That's going to be really cool.
Yeah,
I'll
we
be
get
here
to do
holding down the fort online. You'll be in Vancouver, but we'll be in communication throughout. So
well, yeah, we get to do lots of exciting things together, Jay. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah.
Me too. So if you haven't heard about the weight loss meetup hosted by Neelix here in AltSpace, you are missing out on an event that puts a positive spin on helping people get through their weight management issues. If you struggle with weight loss, losing or gaining, for that matter. You can, or you even struggle with food addictions or anything similar. Come join us Wednesday for a care and sharing experience. Now, they have a very active Discord with people available 24 hours a day to help you with your eating decisions, keeping commitments, staying motivated, and just venting. And it's a great group, and we're very honored to have Neelix host this event, which is on its second year here in AltsSpace. So be aware that this meetup, like many with sensitive subjects, has zero tolerance for any trolls, and they work very hard to keep it a safe space for everyone. So thank you, Neelix and team, for that.
So we keep talking about Discord channels, and seriously, so events happen in AltsSpace, but so much of the conversation is then moved over to Discord with being able to pool resources, stories, have the Q&A sessions with people. Discord is a really, really resourceful tool for you guys. So for people that haven't checked out Discord channels, really recommend that you do. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how AltspaceVR is a perfect place to share your talents, skills, passions, and interests. We have a variety of meetups and support groups that meet regularly here at AltsSpace. Now, the key thing to remember is they don't always show up on the events, on the featured events list. So sometimes events purposely do not even ask AltsSpace to feature their events. They would rather be stay quiet, a little more low-key, not so public, but they're really deserving of your attention. So when you're looking for something to do, make sure you don't always stay on the featured list. Check out the all list and go through them. Events are a welcoming and a great way to find people with common interests. Now, our beloved Joker, you guys all know Joker, right? We all love Joker. He offers a Rabbi Torah, my pronunciation, study group on Tuesdays. Now I have to say I was very excited to see that he was putting this on the schedule, and I told him that I wanted to join this time, and then I went to look when he has it, and he has it at 10 a.m. my time, and I can't go at that time, and I'm really bummed, but that's really interesting, and if you guys even just listen to Joker's voice is treat enough, but he always has interesting stuff to share. Now, the other thing is the creative writing group that meets on Mondays to help you improve your writing skills. There's a couple of cryptocurrency groups. If you guys check this out, you can learn more about cryptocurrency, and they have all sorts of different events going on. Now, fans of Dango meet regularly, as does Acume's. Did I say that right? I meant to check that. Acume, is that? I hope I didn't.
I think so.
Kill your name. The Scandinavia chat and presentations on Norway and Denmark and Sweden for our Scandinavian fans. Now, a project that I'm involved in is VR Church. They meet in AltspaceVR 3 times on Sunday. They're another one that has really active Discord channels. But they also do life groups all through the week. And it's a great way to meet like-minded individuals. And we just started our third life group that's happening in AltsSpace, and it's gonna we did our first one last week. Happens on Friday morning at 4 a.m. Eastern is actually the time, and so it's geared to a little bit outside the North American time zone. But we had people from 3 countries at our first week, so really excited to get that started. So there's a variety of mental health support groups, plenty of events for people to just gather and chat about their day and whatever they wish to talk about. So think about adding your talents and interests to your own event soon. And Jay, if I could just add one more thing to this.
Sure.
So with VR Church, Pastor Alita and I decided that we started something, and we started it on Friday. And we met at, it was 3:30 Pacific time Friday afternoon. And we just went into one of our favorite VR Church fields that the Towler did, which is the City Park. And it's actually, I think the sermon was called All Pets Go to Heaven. And so the pet sermon is still set up in the space. But it's a city park, it's a big space. And so Alina and I just met in that space just for the sole purpose to see who would join us. If we just showed up in a space, and we didn't invite anybody. Alina and I just went in there. And we had over 30 people in that space during that hour. And so you
Great.
guys, if you ever just go into a space that you love, maybe send it in to a friend or two, but honestly, people will join you. People love to chat and talk in AltspaceVR. So I encourage you to do that.
Well, that's great, Donna. And I'm really curious how many people in the audience, by sign of emojis, are on Discord, because we've brought up Discord many times. So I'm curious if you could show us some emojis out there if you are on Discord. If not, we'd love for you to connect on there, because it's a great place to keep in touch with what's going on outside of AltSpace, about what's going on in AltSpace. So, all right, look at all those.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
yay.
That's awesome.
Happy to see that. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And also, if you guys have events that you want to add and you want to have them featured in the news and updates, we have the Discord channel, the AltSpace News and Updates. Please post your event in there and have it included in the updates here. Now, one of my favorite things to do is to host activities. So it's very simple for people to host activities, and activities are a way for people to gather, play, and get to know each other. And many of us have found that some of these great friends are just hanging out in activities. So you want to consider starting one of your own and get to meet new people. You can start an activity at any time, and there are many activities to choose from. AltSpace just added a couple new ones and improved some as well. So you want to go to the activities menu and just hit create activity, and there are some there to choose from, and play around with them and have some fun.
So there's just really always things to do in AltSpace. You could come in, spend time in the campfire. You can check out the featured for activities. So those are ones you can just join in with people that you don't know, make some friends. You can check out the event schedule. Make sure to check back regularly because they're constantly adding new things to the schedule. Make sure you click when you're checking out events. Make sure to click on that interested or RSVP option 1 hour before the event. You'll get an email. Don't be like me who continues to forget to do that, and then I think about the event an hour after it happened instead of an hour before it happened. So every reminder email is really important.
Well, I know that people have been suggesting that we have event reminders in World, and I'm hoping that that will be added to the development schedule, because that would be awesome. So if you RSVP for an event, you get a little pop-up that says, hey, this event's about to start, go there now. I think that would be great for that to be added, and I know that that's been suggested, so hopefully we will see that added in version 2.0 of events. So I want you all to check out all the various Discord groups again. We keep promoting them.
We have a reoccurring theme today.
Yeah, we do. So Discord groups, there's a new official AltspaceVR group, which I mentioned earlier. That's the official one, and many of the other ones are still rocking. So you want to make sure that if you haven't joined that you do. It's the official AltspaceVR. You can see the addresses there on the slide. I believe they're also at the front when you first enter in. Okay. So let's move on to our news and updates discussion, Donna.
Well, I'm going to start this out with something, just because it just happened. So right before news and updates on Saturdays, I usually have, and I consider it an absolute honor and privilege to present at 101s. It's one of the most favorite things that I do through the and I love meeting new people in AltSpace that are new to AltSpace. And today we had, again, a bunch of people who were new, like a couple had only been in for less than an hour. A few were last night. And it's a great opportunity to participate in events like that where people are really appreciative of learning tips and tricks about AltSpace. But not everybody finds their way to 101. So the Community Helper Program is one way that we volunteers in AltSpace have the opportunity not only to help people that are having problems in AltSpace, because that's always part of it, but helping people that are new to AltSpace, being welcoming to them, taking them on world tours, etc. At this past Mingle and Chill on Wednesday night, so always an event to go to if you're interested in what's happening in AltSpace. The Wednesday night Mingle and Chill is always interesting. And one of our fabulous community members, Nira, talked about the fact how she one of the things that she does and she loves to do is she's in the campfire and she takes people on tours of worlds. So just like we talked about earlier in this news and updates, that's something that she does. And she shared a story that was really interesting. And Mira's a community helper here in AltspaceVR. And she shared a story about how she was taking people on a tour, and she actually met in worlds people who she had toured in the past who were now touring. A perfect example of pay it forward, right? Isn't that awesome? And I just think the community helper program is something. Now, you don't have to be a community helper to volunteer in AltspaceVR. We have so many volunteers, but I just think the community helper program is a wonderful opportunity. People see the badge and know that you're a welcoming person. They can approach you, have a conversation, and it's a great way to meet new people.
Exactly, and I think the community helper, the first requirement that we look for with that is just for you to have a heart of service. So if you have a heart of service, which means you like helping out, no matter what that is, if that's hosting events, if that's helping out in the campfire, if that's hosting activities, or just like Nira's doing, giving people tours. I mean, that's an awesome thing because it lessens the load in the campfire. A lot of times people are just hanging out in the campfire. They don't know what there is to do. So if you open up a portal and you take them on a world tour or open it up to an activity or just any type of event that's going on by watching the event schedule, that's an awesome way to contribute, and that's how you get noticed, because one of the requirements to become a community helper is to also have a recommendation from the community helper team or from a admin who works in the campfire. So it always helps to be of service and help out whenever you can. So I love our community helper program. We have some really dedicated folks who go out of their way to make this place just pretty amazing. And I think that's part of the reason why we have less trolls here in AltspaceVR, is because they really do set a great example of what it's like and what's needed to have a inclusive and loving community. So.
Okay, so Jay, you and I
Yes.
are giving up claps right now for all the community helpers that are in the room with us today or possibly watching the live
I see
stream.
Michael Forrest out there, and then who else is out there that I see? Evildoer, and I'm trying to go through and see. Yeah, so happy to see. And then Ancient I Won't Say, of course, one of our mods. Thank you so much.
That's right, yeah. And hearts for all of you guys that volunteer, because not all the volunteers are community helpers, and seriously, it takes so many people. You think about how many volunteers it takes in the real world at your churches, your community centers, your schools, etc. Well, the same thing happens. This is a community. AltspaceVR isn't a place. AltspaceVR is a community, and it only happens because of the world builders and the event hosts, and we all do our part, and there's so many volunteers, people that contribute their time. And so, special hearts from the stage for all of our amazing volunteers within AltspaceVR. No matter what you do, that time, we appreciate it. So, we have come to the end of this week's news and updates. Hopefully you guys learned a couple of things that you're going to take with you as you go through the week. Check out some events, some worlds, etc. So, you can keep up with the AltspaceVR news and updates by subscribing to our event through the channels tab on, so the altvr.com, right, has the channels tab, so you can subscribe to that. Shocker, you could join the Discord. We probably should have mentioned that, right, Jay? We really need to talk about that more.
I love it, yeah.
And you can watch a live stream of past events on our YouTube channel. So we're here for you to keep you updated on news in AltspaceVR, so please tell a friend. And make sure to, if you hear things that you think we should be sharing at the news, please let us know. Over to you, Jay, to close it out.
All right, and stick around because we're going to have a Q&A afterwards, but we want to thank all of our wonderful news and update volunteers and moderators to help make this event such a success. And if you'd like to volunteer to help us out, we would love it. So we do this for you, but we also need your help. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. We will see you next week.